So it's the black car on pole of Louis Woodward. It's Adam Blair, number 11, next to him. He was the fastest driver in qualifying by about a quarter of a second, and he makes the best start as well. So Adam Blair is going to go into the lead of the race. The 191 car of Nick Peters was a little bit smoky there, I thought, as it pulled off the line. Was maybe he got a little bit of wheel spin, but they all head off up to Copse Corner. And it's not Adam Blair in the lead.
Wow.
From the outside of the front row, from pole position, it is Louis Woodward that has managed to drag himself back into the lead, although he wasn't as quick off the line as he might have liked. So he has got the lead. It's Blair in second place, and who's going to be third? I think it's going to be Ray Collier in third position as they turn through, but the top two already getting away a little bit. Jake Boydell in the number 88 car trying to go around the outside of Collier for third position at Beckett's. They head off up the Wellington Straight for the first time in this second ever race for the Absolute Alignment Swift Sport Challenge.
Towards the rear of the field, could see Michael Sanford there, the former Rob Boston Racing engineer, worked with Will Stacey in Club Enduro on their Lotus Elise. He's in the 99 car a little bit further back, but up at the front, Louis Woodward in that black number 87 machine, leading the Devanti Tyres race team car of Adam Blair, who has been pretty much the foreman, the former British F3 racer back in the early 2000s, but the Jake Boydell car, the 88 machine, running very strong as well. He was in the fight for the podium earlier on, but the top two starting to get away as they complete the first lap in this race. About 0.8 of a second clear of Jake Boydell, who has Ray Collier in the second of the Devanti Tyres team cars. Obviously, Blair would quite like to have his teammate as a bit of a rear gunner in this one in number 10. The tyre engineer who's done a lot of work with Devanti over the years.
Down towards Beckett's for the second time, and it's Louis Woodward, Adam Blair, and then Jake Boydell in third position. Bit of curb being taken, a bit of dust being kicked up by Ray Collier and Jonathan Packer there in the 10 and 5 cars respectively. Matthew Weymouth, the BMW racer, is in sixth place, number 19. He had a good drive through the field earlier on. And Nick Peters, number 191, is the best of the novice drivers at the moment. He won that class earlier on. He's ahead of Aaron Mullen and Shay Brennan, making it three novices in 7th, 8th and 9th right together. And the novice drivers, they're acquitting themselves so well against much more experienced drivers like these two that are duking it out for the lead. Louis Woodward and Adam Blair. Blair, the sometime British Formula 3 racer, is up on the inside of number 87. Louis Woodward as they come through Woodcut Corner this time. Are we going to get a change of lead here? Over the line they come, and does the timing screen update itself? Yes, by 0.005 of a second. No, Woodward actually has it by 0.005 of a second. I beg your pardon. Woodward, Blair, and then Boydell, but has it changed by the time they get to Copse?
Yeah, so it looks like Adam Blair's got through on the inside in that number 11 machine and starting already to leave Woodward in his mirrors a little bit. That, of course, is allowing Boydell and co to close in on that battle, but Adam Blair has been the foreman in terms of the pace all weekend, and I believe was the winner of the Suzuki Swift runners in both the hot hatch races that some of these guys did at Donington Park earlier in the year as well. So Blair up to the front. Louis Woodward, has he got any kind of a rebuttal for him as well? It looks like he's got a great toe down the straight. Jonathan Packer trying to go through on Ray Collier as well. Wasn't a great start for Packer, lost 2 places, but I suppose he is used to rolling starts from the Club Enduro over the last couple of years as opposed to the standing starts we do in the Swift Sport Challenge.
So it's fantastic sight these cars make as they're streaming their way around Brooklands Corner. There's the 31 car, that's Maddie Griffiths, whose father Glyn we saw out in the low-cost race earlier on today. Adam Blair has then got into the lead this time by 0.2 of a second, but Woodward is going to try and fight back on the way down to Copse Corner. They're about 0.75 of a second ahead of Jake Boydell in third, and Ray Collier in fourth position. Out of Copse Corner they go, and down towards Maggots and Beckett's on the fourth lap. Best lap of the race is a 1:16.035 to Adam Blair, who has lost the lead again to Louis Woodward then as they headed into Maggots and Beckett's that time. Boydell third, then it's Collier, then it's Packer in fifth position. 1:16.085 was Blair's best lap in the first race, so he's already gone faster than that. That's another new lap record for Adam Blair, but he's got to find his way back past Louis Woodward again here.
Yeah, he certainly does. So we've seen the lead change hands a couple of times already in this race. as they break down into Brooklyn. This is a very tight line and a slightly awkward one for Louis Woodward, and got into the corner a little bit too early. That really compromised his exit. The good news is, though, you immediately swing right into Luffield. It's very hard to make a move around the outside there, so he's got away with that one. But there's a little bit of smoke, though, coming out of the back of Woodward's car. I hope that is not a sign of any kind of ailment, because it looked like something was puffing out of the back of that 87 machine. Here comes Jake Boydell on the outside of Adam Blair for second position, going into Copse Corner. That'll be a very brave move to go all the way around the outside, so Adam Blair is able to hang on to that spot just about. Ray Collier waiting in the wings to try and pounce as well. Again, pulling out of the slipstream, Jake Boydell in the 88 machine. That's going to give him the correct line when they get into Beckett's. And yes, so when they're on the inside line, change for second place incoming here, with Adam Blair trying to brave it out around the outside. That could allow his teammate to come through. Wide goes Blair. We've seen a few drivers do this throughout the day. That's going to give him some momentum down the start and finish straight, but you can clearly see there is smoke coming out of the back of Woodward's car.
Yeah, there's a haze emitting from the back of that, so that's something that the officials will keep an eye on to see if there's anything that they need to do about that, as Adam Blair trying to go around the outside of Jake Boydell. There they were side by side again, the door being left open for Ray Collier. There's a yellow flag now. Someone has spun there. Who was that had spun? Pick up on that in a moment. The 1, 2, 3 car, I think it was, that had gone around. So that is the car of Connor Craven, who was in 9th position. Leader's going to come through to end lap number 5 then, and Woodward now has a lead of more than a second over Jake Boydell.
Yeah, because of all that squabbling that Boydell and Blair were doing on that previous lap, that has allowed Woodward to pull the pin a little bit. Ray Collier still at the back of that trio of cars. Jonathan Packer not too far away either. So whatever is emitting from the back of Woodward's car, it's not hurting his pace too much, because he's still lapping in the low 16s. Pace looks okay for our race 1 winner. And through in second place, Jake Boydell leading the 2 Davanti Tyres cars, with Jonathan Packer at the back of that train. And let's see if the former Club Enduro class winner, the Capture Motorsport Volkswagen Golf for him last year, now switching his focus to the Swift Sport Challenge on the back of the Ray Collier number 10 machine, the Cockshoot Cup champion as well, and did the hot hatch races at Donington Park alongside Adam as well. Leaders then making their way through towards the end of lap 6. Louis Woodward with a reasonably comfortable lead at the moment. Just looking at the situation in the novice class, it's Nick Peters ahead by about 0.8 of a second from Shea Brennan and Lee Forster within that class. And in fact, Peter's now ahead of Weymouth for track position as well. He's up to 6th overall, putting a more experienced driver between himself and his nearest novice rival, which remains Shea Brennan, the teenager. I don't know what Louis Woodward did on that last lap. It was about 0.8 slower than what he would normally be doing, so the lead gap back down to 0.6 of a second, and incentivising Jake Boydell to keep pushing for that place. The 191, the novice Nick Peters there on the back of Jonathan Packer as well, so he's joined that fight. And look, he's one of the guys with the novice cross on his car, and yet he's keeping pace with extremely competitive and experienced drivers. Yeah, getting ahead of Matthew Weymouth, who's won road sports races in the past. Packer there has got Peters up the inside of him, and contact, and Peters slews to the left and right, and he's lost momentum. He's going to lose the class lead. Weymouth goes back past him. Is he going to lose the class lead to Shea Brennan? Yes, Shea Brennan up on the inside. The apprentice electrician goes through to take the lead of the novice class after that little misjudgment there from Nick Peters. And a win for the 750 Motor Club VRS Winter Sim Series, powered by Grid Finder drivers as well there. Shea was taking part in that championship over the winter and now takes the lead of the novice class. And I will say that was a bit of a rookie manoeuvre there from Nick Peters, but well saved as well. Yes, it was. He soon managed to sort of regain control of that and limited the damage. He still came across the line second within that class, and he lives to challenge Shea Brennan again for the class lead. Graham Coombs has come into the pit lane, sadly, in that 66 machine. So the Dutch supercar champion seemingly with some sort of problem and having to come into the pits. Shea Brennan looking at the back of Matthew Weymouth as well. So the novice class driver on the back of 6th position overall. Matthew Weymouth, another experienced driver in road sports and a winner in the Enduro Kart Championship, and he's one of the drivers taking advantage of the team challenge. He'll be sharing that car with his son Alfie later in the season, his 18-year-old boy in his first season of racing.
Absolutely right. So here's Peters in that 191 car then, the driver from Dorking, a builder, done lots of overall racing, so by no means a newcomer to motorsport altogether, but new to the circuits. And he's going to try and get back ahead of Shea Brennan, the 16-year-old from Goole, who's aiming for the Novice Championship this year, as of 15 others. But he's certainly in a good position here, as is Peters. He's watching Louis Woodward with Jake Boydell now challenging him for the lead of the race. Adam Blair has dropped back a bit. He's 1.3 seconds behind the two leaders now, and then there's another gap back to his teammate Ray Collis. So it looks like Jake Boydell, who finished the first race in 5th position, he's challenging Louis Woodward for the win here with 4 minutes of the race left to go.
It was another 3.5 tenths of a second that Boydell took out of Woodward on that previous lap, so the gap less than 4 tenths of a second now, and Boydell, who was in that podium fight, managing to mount the pressure on our race 1 winner, and Woodward's pace is still not quite what it was, so I wonder if whatever is emitting that smoke is now starting to affect the pace, although that was a rather wide moment.
Louis Woodward, I think, is about to get a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
Maybe that is why he's eased up the pace a little bit. So we heard Adam Lockwood talking about this. You just keep a little bit in reserve so that you don't end up taking the 5 seconds. So let's keep an eye out on that.
It's not yet appeared on the timing screen, but I think it possibly might happen very shortly. Over the line they have gone, so really now Louis needs to keep his head down, keep his nose clean, and try and pull away if he can from Jake Boydell, but Boydell showing no signs of letting him do that. They've got a slower car that's ahead of them that they will catch before the end of the race. 2 laps to go after the one that they have just started here, and they've got now a decent cushion back to Blair and Collier in 3rd and 4th.
Traffic in front of them as well. This could play a part. So Woodward trying to get around the 72 machine of Izzy Woolley. She's in her first season of racing, a 16-year-old from Nottingham. Passed her ARS test just shortly after her 12th birthday on either side of the youngster, but it is a 5-second time penalty for the race leader. So all Jake Boydell has to do is sit in Woodward's wheel tracks for the next 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, but will he do that? Because he's got Adam Blair seems to be closing back up again, possibly because of the delay caused by that back marker. So Boydell can't afford to rest on his laurels here. I think if he wanted, if he can, try and get past Louis Woodward in any case. And as they come across the line, they were level pegging, and it's Boydell in with his nose in front, but on the outside line as they come down to Copse. And as he done it, he looks a bit skew whiff. He was a bit out of shape, but Boydell has got the lead on the road as well as with the 5-second penalty. And now Adam Blair has got a track limit time penalty as well. So you can sort of ignore him. You can ignore the 87 car of Woodward as well. And here, Jake Boydell just needs to sit tight. Keep his nose clean, and he's got a lap and a half to go and try and win this race.
That was supreme from Jake Boydell. And the thing is, he won't have known that Woodward had a penalty until they came underneath the gantry on the start-finish straight.
And only then if he was paying attention.
And, well, exactly, because he was already alongside him and trying to go around the outside of Cobbs. That's astonishing. So, second place on the road about to change with Adam Blair trying to get around the outside of Louis Woodward, the erstwhile race leader. Both of those cars, though, will take 5-second time penalties at the end of the race. So that will promote Ray Collier. Will it promote Shea Brennan, the novice racer?
That's
Depends.
touch and go.
Yeah, that is a bit touch and go, isn't it? That's astonishing. So Shea's already ahead of Matthew Weymouth, the experienced road sport racer we already mentioned. So, well, it's all going to come down to the pace on these last couple of laps, isn't it?
Yeah, we've not had an enormous amount of track limits penalties during the course of this weekend,
No.
which I thought we might do, given the reputation of Silverstone. But it's not been the case. I think drivers have probably kept their noses relatively clean. but not quite in this race. Now, Jake Boydell's leading on the road, but Louis Wood is trying to get back ahead of him as they head down to Beckett's for the final time. That's there they are, turning their way around the corner.
Well, this is for the lead.
It is for the lead, yeah. Woodward's dropped behind them, hasn't he? So it's Jake Boydell and Adam Blair heading up the Wellington straight, but Boydell doesn't have a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Blair is aware of that. Clearly, Boydell is not, because he's defending. This is the last lap of the race now, and Blair is pushing Boydell through these last couple of corners. Should just be able to... Oh, a budge on the inside! Come on, Adam, don't do that. But it doesn't matter anyway, because he's going to get a 5-second time penalty, so Jake is going to feel a little despondent, but he's going to get a bit of a surprise when he gets to Parc Ferme.
He's going to be the one pulling up in the P1, so on the road is going to be Adam Blair that takes the checkered flag, but Jake Boydell, as that is added in, gets the win. So Jake Boydell wins round 2 of the Absolute Alignment Swift Sport Challenge.
And Shea gets on the overall podium as a result of that as well.
And
Absolutely
they were messing around, they slowed each other up, and that has dropped them further back. So Collier's second, Shea Brennan third, a novice driver on the overall podium at the first meeting for the Absolute Alignment Sports, the Swift Sport Challenge. Absolutely fantastic. Adam Blair eventually classified 4th, Matthew Weymouth 5th, Lee Foster 6th, Mullen 7th, Saggers 8th, and Woodward in the end back in 9th position.
But I tell you what as well, because the gap for Blair was 5.015, so I think he got pipped to the line by Boydell by
anyway.
15 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, it actually didn't matter that little rough and tumble through Brooklyn.
Bit more rough, less tumble.
Yeah, exactly. On the final up, here are the results then. It is not... Yeah, that is right what it says on the screen. Jake Boydell, 12 laps completed by him in the number 88 car, ahead of number 10, Ray Collier, 1.251 seconds the gap between them. Then third on screen, 8, Shea Brennan winning the novice class as well. Congratulations to him. 4th, number 11, Adam Blair. 5th to number 19, Matthew Weymouth. 6th, 398, Lee Forster, the second of the novice drivers. 7th, number 821, Aaron Mullen, who was on the podium in that class. James Saggers with 8th in 25. Louis Woodward, who won race 1, was 9th in number 87. And Nick Peters, the novice winner from earlier on today, was 10th. Then it was Conor Graven, Victoria Babb, Guy Povey and Conor Forster. Further back to complete the top 20, we had the car of... Graham King, then Tom Simons, Archie Carter, Luke Jones, Gary Stanford and Josh Copeland, who was a non-finisher in race 1. Glad that he managed to get a finish under his belt in race 2. And that is it for today for the Absolute Alignment Swift Sport Challenge. We're looking forward to seeing them out again very soon indeed, Chris.
I'm looking forward to seeing this reaction as well. So Ray Collier, I'm sure he would have got a bit of a surprise pulling up in P2 as well. But I think that is Adam Blair, who's just gone to congratulate him anyway. Yeah. So very happy for his teammate, of course.
And Shea
Brennan in 3rd position overall as the top novice. That's I love the ability of these youngsters and these novices.
We'll head down in a second to Kieran. Next round of these is at Snetterton. Watch out for that next month. Here's Kieran.
Wow, that was an interesting way to end it. And Jake Boydell, you are visibly just thrilled at that.
I'm ecstatic, honestly, absolutely ecstatic. I haven't raced since like 2019, so to come out with a win today is amazing. Wow.
I mean, between you and Adam, obviously, you're properly giving it a go there.
Yeah, we definitely had to fight for it for sure. I mean, the wounds on the side from the last lap shows. Do you know what, though? He wouldn't have had a chance of catching me, but I was behind 87, blowing smoke out the back and oil. And I accidentally put my wipers on. So that's what I was doing the last 2 laps of the race, looking through.
You can't see a thing.
No. So,
nice way to end it, though.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. No, congratulations. Right, Ray Collier, 2nd place. Bit unexpected?
I knew I'd got 3rd. The 2nd was a bit of a gift. I could see there was some warnings going out, but it's quite frenetic. They're really, really tight. And it was quite tight between these first 2 cars. And I'd managed my tyres a little bit. If it had been a 20-minute race, I'd have really come to its own. But, you know, the Davanti Pro Tourer race, what a weekend. They're not even worn out. Consistent all the way through. Really nice and positive. It's typically an understeery circuit here. But yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I think the 750 Motor Club have got it spot on with this, and everyone's really nice. You know, it's so great to see Shay come in there. We give him a bit of mentoring in the garage, and that's exactly what this is about. So anyone that wants to come and ask our setup between myself and Adam, completely open. We're here as ambassadors. It's great to get a trophy. But yeah, thank you very much, and well done to everybody.
That's a great way to end it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Shay Brennan, P3 overall, P1 in the rookie class. Congratulations.
I wasn't expecting to be here, to be honest, because you know, qualifying, it's the first 15 minutes. That's all you get for the practice. Never been at this track before. Minimal stuff in this car. So if you told me before this weekend that I'd be getting a podium, it's incredible. So I'm very, very glad. And then, you know, I had a track limits warning, so I was having to keep it very slow through turn 1, or a bit more limited, so I don't get a 5-second penalty. But you know, I managed to get, I think, 4th place. Who had who is now 4th, had car problems, and I managed to just get him like right before the line. So it feels amazing. I'm very glad.
Congratulations. Obviously, a fantastic way to end the weekend for you.
Yeah, I just want to thank my mum, my stepdad, all my friends supporting me, and Lee Tech, who's my main sponsor. So thank you very much, everyone.
Congratulations. All right, so that's it for the Swift Sport Challenge. Coming up next, we have the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship.